This is Don DeBartolo, a senior commodities broker and market strategist with Daniels Trading in Chicago. I'm also the trader behind the Trade Spotlight advisory service. This service is broken into three segments: Trade Spotlight Futures, Trade Spotlight Commodity Options, and Trade Spotlight Spreads. This is Beyond the Spotlight, a video that will spotlight 2 or 3 markets that may become trading opportunities for this week. This week begins with Monday, August 10th, 2020. Please pause the video and read the disclosures to understand the risks involved with futures and commodity options trading. Looking at our first chart, this is the December 2020 Chicago wheat contract. And if you're following the Trade Spotlight advisory service already, you should know there's an order to sell the contract, which has not been filled yet, although the market is pushing to lower prices. Was looking to sell on a pullback up to this level here, the breakout pivot point low, and just above the 50-day moving average and closer to the 20-day moving average. But as you can see, market continued lower, slight pullback back to that 50-day moving average, but the last 3 sessions have been lower. If you saw this trade recommendation, perhaps you entered the market at a lower price, you're in, and you're doing well. I'm still working your order, trying to get that pullback. My target's down here at 480, so if I can get a pullback, maybe even to this 520 price level, can sell it there and still have a tremendous downside potential. The stop loss that I was working on the potential sell order was 535. That goes above this session high and that 20-day moving average. If I adjust to a lower sell price, I can also move down that strike price to perhaps above this session high. But again, was looking to get a pullback on a breakout to this low here. That low was from the 20th of July at 524.25. No fill yet. Monitoring this closely. If there's not a pullback in the next couple days, I'm either going to adjust the price or just straight cancel and wait for another setup in the December Chicago wheat. Seasonally should be short this time of year, so would love to get into a position, but only when the price is right. We'll point out that the stochastic indicator, this is a momentum indicator, is actually in the oversold level and pulling back a little bit. So we could get that pullback. This is the MACD. Trend is still down. 20-day moving average is pointing down. A crossover with the 50 is bearish. So again, hopefully the momentum indicator is right, that the market's going to pull back up into this level. We can sell it and then ride it lower. Okay, taking a look at the next chart. This is the December 2020 copper market. And again, if you're following the Trade Spotlight advisory, we have a working order to purchase a put option, an outright put option. In this market, futures can be quite volatile. You can see some of these big bars in this market that trading with the futures contract is risky with the high margin requirement and the stop loss potential. We'd be carrying a lot of risk, so I want to get into the market with a put option. So we had the big sell-off. This is Friday's trading session. Put an order in to purchase a put option, and that is the 250 put. That's down at this level here. You can see I have this green line drawn off. That's actually the target, the 200-day moving average at 260.229. So that's my target on it, even though I'm holding the 250 put. 250 put just had a little more open interest, which made me comfortable getting into that put option in an otherwise thin options market. But the market broke out of this channel. So again, looking for a pullback to purchase that put option, looking to pay 370 points or $925. If the market trades back above the top of this channel and takes out this 12-month contract high that was put in July. It was 370 on July 13th. I would liquidate the put position and just take back as much premium as we can. Again, already mentioned the downside target is this 260, 229, 200-day moving average. So we'll see if we get a pullback this week to get into the put option. And the third chart we'll take a look at today is the September 2020 30-year bonds. We have a big channel formation going all the way back to the beginning of March, the beginning of the pandemic. That's that one outlier trading session you have here when we had those two gaps higher. Again, just as the pandemic was beginning, then you had a sell-off. But then since just sideways trading action, a dip here, market starting to trade a little bit higher here. What I'm looking for, though, is an opportunity to get long the bonds, but I want to do so on a pullback, perhaps to the median of this channel formation, near this 50-day moving average at 178.27. You can see right now the MACD indicator is flat, waning a little bit to the downside. There is some downside momentum in this market, so hopeful that we can get that pullback to set up a long position. Also an opportunity to sell some puts as a credit spread, maybe even sell some calls on the other side as a neutral market strategy. That would come out through the option segment, or just get long futures with a stop loss depending on how low we go and where it finds support below these lows here or these lows here. Could be a great stop loss point, and then upside target would be the top of the channel, or even we can look up to the 12-month contract high. So that's the September 2020 30-year bonds. Looking for a pullback this week to set up a trade opportunity to the upside. So a quick look at the Trade Spotlight Advisory. It's an email service. All three segments are under one email. You'll get a write-up of the trade. This is the copper trade from last week. You'll have the precise entry order, any pertinent information like margin requirements or option expiration dates. You'll know the risk-reward parameters for each trading plan, and a chart that you can click to enlarge to take a look at. If you're not following the Trade Spotlight Advisory Service, I would like you to do so just by signing up for a free trial. It's 90 days. There should be plenty of time to see what we're doing here. You can go to danielstrading.com, click on the Advisories tab. Under Technical Analysis, you'll find Trade Spotlight. You can read more about it, see some recent posts, and then subscribe to the service. It's a free service to clients of mine. After 90 days, if you're not a client, there is a cost to the service. If you have any questions on either of those three charts or the two trade recommendations or just the markets in general, feel free to reach out. Here's my local international number, work cell phone, and toll-free number, or feel free to email at tradespotlight@danielstrading.com. Thanks for taking the time to watch and listen today, and happy trading.